Hi, I'm Fifi, and this is Going Deeper with the Lord. It's Friday, and on Fridays, I share things that I'm learning as I grow in the Lord while I'm reading the Bible, listening to sermons, or reading Christian books. So, I was reading Matthew chapter 18, and this is where Jesus was saying, if your hand or your foot causes you to stumble, cut it off and throw it away. It is better for you to enter life crippled than to enter eternal fire with two hands or 2 feet. And he said, if your eye causes you to sin, gouge it out and throw it away. It is better for you to enter life with one eye than to have two eyes and be thrown into eternal fire. I don't think Jesus Christ wants us to mutilate ourselves. So when I'm reading this passage and looking at what was going on, what was he talking about? Does it affect us now? He was talking about sin, and sin is the human problem. It affected them then, it's still affecting us now. How do we deal with sin? How does this passage apply to us now? I'll share my story. So I got born again in 2020, and 2021 was my best year because I was experiencing God in a phenomenal way, and I grew so fast. By the end of 2021, I felt like God was saying, get off social media. So I closed off my Facebook and I closed off my TikTok. I was only on those two. I wasn't on Instagram. I closed them up until April 19, 2025, when the Lord told me to get on TikTok and YouTube and share my testimony. Even when I am on TikTok, I am supposed to go in there, do what I'm doing, and get out. But I found out that TikTok is discouraging me. TikTok causes me to covet. TikTok causes me to go in there, look at what God is doing in other people's lives, and then it will cause conflict between me and God. And I'll go to God saying, God, like, why is it that everybody else's story is easy? Everybody else's story is, I did this, I fasted, and I told the Lord, God, I want this. And I got it the next day. I got it at the end of the fast. And why is it that I fasted, I've prayed, and I'm out here in the wilderness, have been in the wilderness for years now? What is it that you're doing in my life? So I realized that TikTok was getting me discouraged. It was getting me depressed. And it was causing conflict between me and God, because I would go out there and scroll and then go with pettiness before God to complain about things that He never sent me to do on TikTok. So I felt like at the beginning of this year, I think it was February, I felt like the Lord was just calling me out of my disobedience, that you are supposed to be sharing your spiritual growth. You're not supposed to be scrolling. It was hard. And that's when I realized that, okay, this thing is a flesh issue. From the beginning, God was clear that I don't want you to mirror anybody else, because I want to build different with you. So He was very clear with what I have to do. It was my flesh which was deciding to do otherwise, which is disobedience. And it is now causing me to get discouraged, to get depressed, and then affecting my prayers before God. Instead of praying for things that are important, I am out there whining and complaining and crying. And so I stopped completely just looking at other people's stuff, because I realized that it was actually making me compare my journey with other people. I realized that, okay, my eye is obviously causing me to sin, because I'm going on TikTok and then I'm watching what other people are doing, and then I'm coveting people's stuff. Obviously, I'm coveting. I wish I had a life that they had, a life that is not restricted by the boundaries that the Lord has set in my life. And I'm comparing my journey with people that I don't even know. I don't know what God is doing in their lives. I know what God is doing in my life. So instead of just focusing on my path, I am going out there and looking at what God is doing in other people's lives, and it is discouraging me. If we go places where they influence us in a negative way that is not aligned with the will of God for our lives, then we should stop going there. If our hands are causing us to stumble by us typing things that we have no business typing, searching up stuff that we have no business searching them up, then we should restrain ourselves from such things. if our eyes and ears are listening and watching stuff that is causing us to stumble, then we should stop doing those things. So sometimes we'll hear people saying that God told me to get off social media. It doesn't mean that God is restricting. And for me, I understand that God is realizing that social media is influencing me in a way that is getting in between my walk with Him. Social media is influencing me to desire things that the Lord has promised me, to desire them to come faster, and to be impatient with the Lord because I'm seeing what He's doing in other people's lives. So God is not restricting us from social media. If I don't have the self-discipline to get in there, do what I have to do, and look at other people and be okay with what is going on in their lives, it is not God's problem. It is my own problem. God is not denying me anything. I am the one who is failing to handle it like a mature Christian. If it is causing you to stumble, then stay off social media. If certain places are causing you to stumble, stay off those places. If certain music is bringing old memories and old appetites, stop listening to secular music. If watching television is causing you to desire things and influencing you to desire a certain lifestyle, then stop watching those shows. That's my understanding of Matthew chapter 18. So now, reading this passage and looking at where I am with Lord and what God is doing in my life, I'm able to apply it in my individual situation. And it helps me understand that, oh, it's not like God is restricting me. There's nothing wrong with TikTok. I'm the one who doesn't have the ability and the capacity to handle it like a mature Christian. If these social media sites are causing us to stumble, then when God says stay off, it means that they are influencing us in ways that is impacting our journey. Friends, that's all that I wanted to share today. God bless you, and I'll see you in the next video. God bless you all.